The Car is a 1977 automobile horror movie directed by Elliot Silverstein.
Evil has visited the Earth in many forms. Now it returns as the Car.
I said automobile horror movie because there's so many movies like this one where there's a killer car running loose that at this point it should be its own subgenre. Not sure why, but the 70s saw many releases of killer car movies. Maybe because cars were booming in popularity at the time, or because of fear of traffic jams and car crashes were rising. I don't really know. All I know is that after Spielberg's Duel, boom! Car horror movies. I didn't really hear anywhere that this movie was like a big classic or anything like that. The way that I found out about this movie was that I just happened to watch the trailer some time ago. I don't even remember how and where. All I remember is that right after watching the trailer, I pretty much thought, wow, that movie looks like shit, and I really want to watch it. So yeah, after a few weeks later, I saw it come up on Netflix and decided to watch it. And so yeah, here's my review. Near a small town in the middle of the desert in Utah, a mysterious black car is causing havoc, committing many hit-and-run murders, and the town's Sheriff Wade parents is called in to investigate. The car kills his deputy and also terrorizes a school parade. People in the town also start saying that they saw no driver in the car. Ooh. Later, Wade's girlfriend is killed by the car, and after that, the whole police department makes a plan to get rid of the car once and for all, ending with the automobile going up in flames. And yeah, that's it. The movie spends many scenes with the people of the town, which would be nice if only they were more interesting. All the scenes with the cars, though, are pretty fun. There's car chases and crashes and stuff, and at some point in the movie, it seems more like an action movie than a horror movie. Oh, and I'ma just say this now to get it out of the way. As a horror movie, it ain't scary or tense or anything like that, really. It's just a freaking car. Best scene and kill in the movie, in my opinion, is when the car kills Wade's girlfriend. Not only is it epic that the car literally drove through her freaking living room to kill her, but it also was pretty interesting that the movie killed off the main character's love interest, because that's not something that usually happens in horror movies. Also, the whole build-up to the scene was pretty excellent too. The characters are forgettable. And it's a whole town of characters. Only ones I can really remember at the moment are Sheriff Wade, because he's a main character. His girlfriend, who's also a teacher, because she's a main love interest, and because she has the coolest death. This police officer who gets drunk all the time because I don't like the guy, and he's really stupid, and I really wanted to see him get fired, which he did it. The old guy, who I can only remember because I was just waiting for the guy to die for the whole movie, because he was such a dick. And this hitchhiker dude, who's one of the first ones to die in the movie. Why do I still remember him? Because I thought he should have gotten more screen time, to be honest. I actually did like that guy.
And if I hear another sound out of that thing, I'll go ram it so far up your ass you'll be farting music for a year.
Wouldn't that be fantastic? Farting music. For a year.
I honestly can't even remember their names. None of the characters were really memorable or unique, and it doesn't really help that the acting in this movie isn't anything exceptional. Don't get me wrong, it's not horrible, it's just passable. I like how the car sort of has its own personality. There's this one scene where the car is having a sort of tantrum because it can't attack people inside of a graveyard. Again, all the scenes with the car are fun. Also, they don't give any explanation for the car's origin or why the car is doing what it does, which is actually not such a bad thing because they don't waste your time with a whole big scene of exposition or something, and it also gives the car a more mysterious feeling to it. The closest we get to an explanation of what the car is are two scenes. First is that the movie starts with a quote from the Satanic Bible, so I guess that means it's a devil car? Second is the ending where there's a big weird shape that the flame from the explosion from the car makes. I guess it is a devil car. Huh, go figure. There's surprisingly a lot of action with the car, such as chases, crashes, explosions, and yeah, I think that's it. But still, all the scenes are pretty fun. Some are actually pretty impressive, and some are pretty edge of your seat, and some are laughable for how they just ignore freaking logic.
Jeez!
One thing you really should get used to while watching this movie is the car's honk. At first I thought that it was part of the movie soundtrack because the sound came up a lot, but nope. That's the car's honk, which makes me feel even worse for the people in the movie because not only do they have to deal with the danger of being killed by the car, but they also have to deal with the car's annoying ass honk blasting all the goddamn time. They made the choice to add scenes where they show the car's POV, which is not a bad choice and actually does make for some pretty good shots. But the yellow texture on the screen is so distracting to the point where I wonder if someone on set pissed on the camera lens or something. I have to be honest, the movie does have its good shots. The movie takes place in the desert, and the movie takes advantage of that. It sometimes shows us some pretty good shots of the landscapes here and there, of the setting, and I may not be very fond of the look overall, but I do have to be honest, it does have its good shots. So kudos to you, movie, for doing that. This movie is fast, crazy, nonsensical, and doesn't give a hell, and it's pretty fun. The acting ain't that bad, it's good enough for the movie. However, there's also many other movies like this one, and some in my opinion are better. Also, the look of the movie isn't always good, and the nonsensical attitude that it has does lead to the movie having moments where the nonsense is just, well, nonsense. And some of the scenes which focus on the characters of the town are a drag. The movie has its fun moments, but not the whole movie is fun to watch. But you know, I would be lying if I said that I didn't actually enjoy watching most of the movie. I mean, it has its flaws, but you could tell that despite the very nonsensical premise, they did try to make a good movie. And even though I'll most likely not rewatch this movie soon, I won't say that I will definitely not rewatch it ever. And you know, maybe someday when I'm hanging out with my friends and we want to watch a pretty fun movie, this one would make a good option. But let's be honest, this movie ain't flawless, and there's also better options out there. So, 6 out of 10. Okay, one thing that I still don't understand is the end credits. What I mean is, the whole movie takes place in the desert, but for some reason, the end credits show us shots of the car going through the city. It feels like these credits are out of a different movie entirely. Like, it just feels so out of place.